Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Bleach 1000 Years Blood War The Separation, episode number 7 reaction. Alright, so the previous episode we get to see Rukia's Bankai, and before that happened, a few other things happened. First of all, Ichigo has completed his training, and after getting to know the whole situation and how a lot of the captains have already been attacked, a lot of things have happened, he just jumped down from the top even though he was supposed to go down the stairs. Not enough time, so that's what happened. And then obviously we get to a battle between Rukia and Note, who is Fear. And at first it seemed like Rukia is kind of it would easily be able to defeat him, but he uses his I always forget the name of the technique. Vol something. The special technique that the Queen She's use. He uses that, and Rukia cannot do anything. But then Byakuya comes in and helps Rukia. Kind of acknowledges her strength, and now that Byakuya has acknowledged Rukia, there's no fear in Rukia's heart. So in the end she uses her Bankai, and we also get to know an interesting thing that her power is actually not through the sword, but it's actually her whole body, which reduces the temperature. And the sword is just like a thing that increases the range. So that's another interesting thing we got to know. So yeah, in the end she uses her Bankai, and her Bankai is so powerful and so crazy, it brings the temperature down so much that she herself is in the in danger. So Byakuya kind of helps her get back out of it, and there you go, that worked out. In the end we get a brief section of what was that, Isane and Yachiru, them actually coming across another one of the Queen Trees. So let's see what happens. Alright, so this is episode number 7. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, let's see what happens. Post Invasion Squad 4. Oh yeah, this when she makes them forget or whatever. Oh, looks like a mad scientist. When I leave, V, vanishing point. Oh, that's just going to whack him again. Yeah. At least he got, oh god, he got hurt. Wait, his... Erase my phone? Oh. And memories. Exactly. Damn, that's why V vanishing. Damn. That was... They just went right into it. I was not expecting them just to start fighting immediately. I guess, what else can we even do? Wait, I don't understand one thing. Yachiro actually hit him. In the nose? Where's the injury? I can understand that he's saying that he can erase or vanish from his form, his existence, and even the memory of others of him. I can understand that, but that wouldn't erase the injury that he gets. Yachiro clearly hit him, in the nose. Shouldn't he have that injury, even though, I don't know. I have no idea what that was about. Okay. Yeah. What's she doing? All right. Oh, he's gonna get punched again. I love how she does exactly the same thing every time. Every time he introduces himself. uh, okay. Well, it's Kenchan, that's why. Damn. Oh, whoa. Oh, there you go. Yeah, wait, how? Yeah. What? What type of copycat? Oh. What the? Wait, what? What's happening here? Wait, are those hollows? What's Rupanka? Alright, wait, what? A lot of things are going on here. You probably erased the. Whoa, what the? Wait, what's happening? Who the hell is this? Um, Product of my imagination. What? He says power of imagination. Oh wow, okay, I can understand what his power is. So he literally, whatever he imagines, that becomes reality or whatever? What? Oh my god! Yeah, he's like. Oh, so whatever the other person imagines. Okay. Oh my god. That's why he said, like, oh, I imagine that you're dead in the future, and he just dies. Whoa. Oh, Kenpachi is here! Yay! Kenpachi is here. Okay, everything will be fine now. Oh, yeah, about that. Uh, Yeah. Okay, so she kind of knew about it, I guess. I guess obviously they've been working for so long. Obviously they will know. All right, kid. Time for you to get. Time for you to get a lesson. All right. I hope this. I hope Kenpachi humbles him. Oh no. Wait. He said like they're dead or something. Is that real? Is that true? But no. It's not possible because they are unconscious. They cannot imagine themselves dying. I think that's why they'll be fine. Remy, visionary. Wait, didn't he say like that was Oh, that was part of his imagination. Oh, I see. So that was his imagination. That's why. Okay. Ah, well, still doesn't matter for Kenpachi. He's crazy, this guy. Well, you understand who you're fighting now? Oh, I am the edge. What? I am the edge. Oh, that's the name of the. Okay. Damn! Oh, wow, that was crazy. Well, he's gonna learn it the hard way. He probably chose the worst opponent to fight. Oh god. But let's see. Yep, it's Zaraki. Yeah, because I guess it's imagination. Yeah. Well, good job. He'll have to cut you two more times then. What a joke. He's too cocky. I want. Yeah, okay. Yo, this guy's too cocky. Okay, you know what? Time to show him. Time to show him. He's a bit too cocky. I feel like. Wait, does he know? Okay. Oh, you just imagined him underwater. Okay. Oh. Oh no. Oh god. Yachiru's. Oh god. Situation will be a problem. All right. We'll see. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. That. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. What about now, huh? Oh, I just want to see him like understand how much at a disadvantage he is in at. So once what? Okay. Hmm. Nah, he just wants to. Yeah. Wait, did he just? Oh, damn. Yeah, like I was wondering, when did he claim that? Oh, is he making him? Well, are you feeling it now? He probably is. Because he's strong. Hey! Hey, Kenpachi! He just brings out guns. Okay, that's funny. I wasn't expecting that. Damn! Oh boy. He's like, I'm having fun. Yes, after so long. Yes, I'm elated. There you go. Oh, he just breaks it. Oh my god. That was lame. Yeah, you. Oh, he. Oh. Yeah, but there you go. Oh my god. Yo. Campus is crazy. Ah. Well, probably. He's imagining that he might lose. Why? Dude, put your hands out of your pocket. Fight properly. As I said, exactly, that's what he imagined. Well, good for you. Now Kenpachi will have even more fun. He's going to have more fun now. Oh, he just imagined, okay. Alright. Yeah, he just did that. That thing. Oh, he's just imagining that I cannot die. Oh, whoa. Um, damn, it's a crazy power, just imagining stuff. Oh wait, is that his Zanpakuto's name? Nozarashi. It's not imagination, okay. No, maybe he can. He's so happy. He's like, yes, maybe for you. But his imagination. What can you say about Kenpachi? Maybe you cannot even imagine what Kenpachi can do. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. So was I right? Is Yachiru his? Is Yachiru his? Or maybe not. Maybe I'm. Oh! But the splinters, the rock. Oh my God! Yeah, this will be a problem. I better take cover, guys. Oh, that is his Zampak. Oh my God! Hey yo, it's big. I remember them saying like the bigger the Zampacto is, the more. Without form. Oh. Oh. Oh! My God. Wait, what the hell is that? Oh, wait, those are bombs? Yeah. So that was his imagination. Okay. Oh, he's gonna come back. Oh, there he is. Are you feeling fear now? You have no idea how strong he is. He cannot fathom. His imagination cannot fathom how strong he is. Whoa. Oh my God. So he tried to be stronger. Damn. Oh wait, that's it. Okay, whoa, that went fast. Wait, in the end he says you in your head turned me into a monster and that monster is the one that killed you. Oh, I see. So, oh, I guess as soon as he acknowledged that Kenpachi is like a monster, didn't he say like you monster? So as soon as he imagined that, I guess it was over for him. Like even though he tried to get stronger than him by imagining himself stronger than him, like I guess the like before that he just imagined Kimpach as a monster, so that killed him. Okay, that final part I don't properly understand. I kind of understand what happened, but not clearly. Like a yeah. All right, another thing. I always thought Yachiru had something to do with his Bankai or his Zanpakuto. Probably not then. Like, because you see these scenes that they show us, like when in the flashback, as we saw here as well, when Yachiru comes to Kenpachi and he's like, "Oh, what is your name, kid?" And like Yachiru goes and like touches his Zanpakuto. These like flashbacks, we saw this before as well, made me think that there's some connection of Yachiru with his Bankai or with his Zanpakuto. So that was what I thought. So it probably isn't. There's no connection between them two. I don't know. Oh damn, that was some okay. Oh okay. He's going to explain. I think killed by my imagination. What happened? My imagination was cut. Oh, so he tried to become stronger than him. Yeah, but his body wasn't able to take it. I think since he was so strong. Yeah, there you go. That's what I said. Yeah, so he did it correctly, but his body wasn't able to take it. Okay, so my initial like understanding was correct. Whoa. Oh, he's no imagination. What? Yeah. Oh, so he was just a brain. Damn, that was crazy. World where I can no longer imagine anything. Oh, so he was just a brain, and his brain had the power of imagination. Damn. And he imagined himself as, you know, whose voice is that? Okay. All right, that was a crazy episode. Oh, that was amazing. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's it. I've been waiting for a Kempachi episode, and here we go. We have it finally. Right. Okay. So there you go. Now, like I was saying, up until now, I always thought Yachiru had something to do with Zanpakuto, because, like I said, every flashback that we saw of Kempachi and Yachiru, like we saw in this episode as well, Yachiru comes to his Zanpakuto and is like touching it, and Kempachi's like, "Oh, what is your name, kid?" and all that, and that is why I thought that, oh, maybe there's some connection between Yachiru and his Bankai. You know what the funny thing is? From the like when from Bleach, like the first season when it aired, from the beginning, I thought Yachiru had something to do with his Zanpakuto. Throughout all these years, throughout these 10 years, obviously I don't know, there was only one thing I got spoiled about Bleach after the first initial anime ended, and I talked about it in the first episode of Thousand Year Blood War. It's not like a big one, but no, two spoilers. One spoilers already happened, so I can talk about it. The spoiler that Ichigo had both Quincy and Shinigami power in him. That's one thing I got spoiled. There's another thing that I got spoiled, but that's not a big spoiler. It comes almost at the end, so I'm not going to mention that. It still hasn't come. So that's not a big spoiler. So these are the only two spoilers I was spoiled about. So here's the thing. From the beginning of when Bleach, I watched Bleach when I started watching anime properly. That is, I think, probably 2015 or something. I watched Bleach. From when I watched Bleach, from when Kenpachi was introduced, and from when they started talking about his Zanpakuto, about how he doesn't know his Zanpakuto's name and all that, from that point onwards, I always thought and I had the impression that Yachiru had something to do with his Bankai. And not Bankai, sorry, Zanpakuto. And I've thought, I thought that from that point onwards to up until today, that is what I thought. So I feel like watching today's episode, I think I understand that Yachiru probably has nothing to do with his Bankai, but the flashbacks were so misleading. Like I said, like Kenpachi finds Yachiru randomly in a forest. That's the first thing. The second thing is how Yachiru shares the same name as Unohana's title. That is also another weird thing I never understood. But I think now I understand because like Kenpachi idolized Unohana. Probably that is why, like, Kenpachi is the one who named her. I think that is why. Did he name her Yachiru, like for respect for Unohana? Is that why? Maybe, I don't know. That was also another thing. Like, unless before, I didn't know about Kenpachi and Unohana's relationship, and so I didn't know. So like that was another thing when it revealed that Unohana's last name is Yachiru. I was like, oh, it has something to do with his Zanpakuto or something, because of that connection again. And a few other things also made me think, like Yachiru coming and touching his Zanpakuto, Kenpachi asking what is your name and her not able to name herself. All these things made me think that Yachiru was, I don't know, I thought Yachiru was actually Kenpachi's Zanpakuto or something like that, I thought. Maybe not, because we actually see Yachiru herself has a, like, we actually saw that today. Yachiru herself has a, like, yeah, she always had a Zanpakuto, but we actually see her form of the Zanpakuto, her Shikai, I think that was. So yeah, like her having a Zanpakuto and all that. Yeah, today's episode made me like, I think like 60 to 70% sure that Yachiru probably has nothing to do with Kenpachi's Bankai. Again, I'm calling it Bankai. Kenpachi's Zanpakuto. I always mix that two up. So there you go. That's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't know what I expected, but I actually expected like the huge reveal to come that, oh, Yachiru is Kenpachi's God damn it, Kenpachi's Zanpakuto. So yeah, probably not, because here in this episode they literally show us Yachiru's sword and Yachiru's Zanpakuto, all that stuff. So I don't think that is possible anymore. But yeah, either way, okay, let's talk about this episode. So the first we see this guy who introduces himself as Stunritter V Gweniel Lee. So this was an imagination. I didn't understand that at the beginning. Even when he killed him, I didn't understand that he was actually part of his imagination. Later on, I realized. I think like after like he talks about it, I understood that he was part of his imagination. So he's part of. So wow, that's crazy. So he literally imagined someone who has a power. Like he imagined this guy, and imagined that this guy had a power of erasing themselves from the memory, from the existence, and all that stuff. So literally gave a life through his imagination, and to that life he even provided powers to it. This is some OP next level power that this guy had. You know, it's crazy what he could have achieved with this power. But Kenpachi just comes and like whacks it away and just destroys it with pure strength. Okay, so yeah, at first he comes in and he starts to like mess around with Yachiru, and Yachiru like starts punching him, and he's like, what the hell is this up with this kid? She's just punching through instinct, and that was literally what she was doing, because she says that Ken-chan told me that whenever I feel some tingle, I should act on it. Like there's different types of tingle. This type of tingle was just go and punch him. That type of tingle. That's why she punched him. And she said something like there's like a cold feeling tingle, a warm feeling tingle, like all these things she says. And she's like, yeah. And then when Ken-chan says when he finds someone like that, he cannot resist slaying them. And that's what she's also doing. And that's why she's like punching and everything. Okay, so here we see. So she attacks the imagination V again, and this time he actually gets hurt. His nose gets cut, and he's like, impossible, I dodged that. And she says, here we go. It's an interesting power she has. She says that my sword strikes its target whether they dodge it or not. Okay, what did you say? My sword is a copycat. There are copycats on the front and the back of my sword. Right? The more you try to gauge the distance and timing, the more you are to misjudge it and you get hit. So she has copycats in front of the sword and the back of the sword. So that's why you cannot gauge the distance and the range, I guess. And that's why he got hit, I'm guessing. And then she just calls them out. Sampo Kenju. Okay, first of all, what type of shikai is this? Is this even a shikai? Like, what's going on? Okay, here's another confusing part. I doubt this is her bankai. She's a lieutenant. She definitely doesn't have a bankai. So, it's a shikai, isn't it? But then, what type of shikai is this which manifests itself? I guess it can, because there are a lot of other, I guess, like Zanpakuto, which kind of manifests something. For example, Yeah, I guess it I think like what kind of confused me is like the humanoid, like like those two things that come out. All right, another thing, these things look like hollows, don't they? Like they have masks and stuff. Wait. Yeah, this thing has a mask. So at first I was like, what is this? Is this a hollow? But then, right. Anyways, her shik. I'm guessing that's her shikai. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, okay, so she just, so those two are the copycats, I'm guessing. And yeah, she attacks and she starts dancing with them. Oh yeah, there you go. Even Isane says that's her shikai. But her sword has. Oh, she literally addresses whatever exactly what I said. All right, let me just read this part. This part slipped my mind completely while reacting. But her sword hasn't changed form. It's not even the materialization of Zanpakuto's true form that is said to occur. There you go, through Bankai training. I don't. Yeah, exactly. There, Isane literally says what I just said. Okay. I forgot this part because I was too excited here. All right, there you go. So okay, so it's pretty unique, I guess, because Isane even is surprised. So right, so here we go. Now after this, I'm guessing the original guy, the V, him, forgot his name. He realizes that in this way we cannot defeat them, so he comes out. Right, so this part really confused me at the beginning. I'm like, what the hell is this guy? Where did he come from? What is he talking about? Imagination and stuff. But then little by little, I started to understand what his power is. And I also understood that this, like, V was also a product of his imagination. So, so yeah, his imagination, he's like, oh, I'm like, please, I can be of use to you. And he's like, yeah, your power is kind of nice, but still, like you do understand you're part of my imagination, so I can literally think that you don't exist and you will cease to exist. And that's what he does. He tries to, it's crazy, like his imagination actually goes and tries to kill him, but he imagines him to just like vanish and disappear. And he's like, oh, I imagine that you don't exist, and bam, I can no longer imagine a future for you. As soon as he says that, he just dies. Right, here we go. Another thing, he says that when Ethan is like, get away from those two, he says like, oh, don't worry, I already killed them. Now here's the thing, his power is something to do with imagination. Now I could understand his product of imagination that he killed, him dying, because he's product of his imagination. What I'm trying to say here is that the guy that he killed, the product, the imagination product that he made, who tried to attack him, he can control his future by imagining, because he's literally the product of his imagination. So if he imagines his future to be completely void, he can kill him because he's part of his imagination. These two, like Rose and the other guy, Kensen, I think, those two are not product of his imagination. So even if he imagines them that they don't have any future, I don't think it will work, will it? Unless and until these two imagines that. Like, here's my basic understanding of the whole situation. Later on, as we see, he tells Yachiru that, oh, I think your bones are made of cookies. Yachiru imagines it. So when Yachiru imagines it, that becomes true. So for something to happen to yourself, you have to imagine it. You cannot imagine for someone else and that will come true. That won't happen. So the fact that Kensen and Rose are unconscious, obviously they cannot imagine anything because they're unconscious now. So how can he kill them? That's my question here. So was he bluffing here? That's the big question. He tells that I have killed them, but I don't think that is possible. How is it possible? He cannot kill them through his power of imagination because they are unconscious. They cannot even listen to him. They have no clue what's going on. They cannot imagine. I can understand him doing it to people who he's fighting with. For example, he could have done something to Isane. He did something to Yachiru because he, this funny thing when you say something and the other person exactly thinks the same thing, that kind of thing. Like when you say something verbally, the other person immediately imagines that, even they don't want to imagine that kind of thing. That's what he did to make Yachiru's bones cookies and all the other stuff that he did to Kenpachi. That's what he thought. All the other things that happened, for example, Kenpachi going in underwater, all that stuff, that is something that he imagined. Like, that was something external that he imagined. He imagined that Kenpachi is going to go into water. And that's what happened. Kenpachi, he didn't imagine something for Kenpachi. So from inside of Kenpachi, nothing could change. Like, here's the thing. His power would have been completely broken if he imagined something for someone else and if that came true. He could instantly imagine that Kenpachi is dead and Kenpachi would die. But that is not the case. Kenpachi himself will have to think for something to happen to him. If Kenpachi thinks that, my hand is broken, Kenpachi's hand will break. Unless until Kenpachi thinks that nothing he cannot do anything to change his body. So that is the thing. So this is my logic. That's why I'm thinking in no way is Kensen and Rose dead. Because how could he kill them? Unless he just stabbed them or something, I don't know. But they didn't really seem, there wasn't any flesh wound I could see. So I don't think he did anything like that. So using his power of imagination, I don't think it's possible to kill them because they're literally unconscious. How could they even imagine them dying? That's the thing. So anyways, I'm not really sure because they don't really address more about this. He just tells that he's dead, they're dead, and that's it. We don't really see anything about that after that. So we'll get a confirmation in the future, hopefully. But either way, after that, he just breaks Yachiru's hand, and he's like, oh, my arm. And he's like, oh, imagine this. What will happen if the bone on your arm was made of cookies? Just now you thought it would naturally break. There you go. Like, to change something within Yachiru will have to imagine it. I don't think he can imagine it for Yachiru and it will change. If he can do that, he can literally imagine everyone dying and everyone would die. That would be like some kind of overpowered broken ability. In no way can they introduce something like that here. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, he told Yachiru to imagine, and Yachiru imagined that is why that happened. Right, so this is what you imagine next. If my bone in my arm, then maybe all of my other bones are cookies as well. This is the thing, like this whole imagination thing is crazy kind of. I remember a similar episode in Black Clover as well, in the whole when in Dorothy's Power. I don't know if you guys have watched Black Clover or not, but Dorothy's Power is kind of similar to that when she takes them to her dream world or whatever they call it. All right, I kind of had to stop the recording for a bit. I don't know what's going to happen. My the video up until now my camera completely died. All the data almost got lost. I'm trying to recover it. If I'm not able to recover it, the first part of the video won't have any video, which would be a very big shame because this was one of the best episodes. And yeah, but anyways, I'm not really sure. If the video is dead, then you'll realize that I probably was able to recover it. But anyways, I'm going to continue my discussion. So yeah, I was talking about what's the name? Yachiru. Yeah, Yachiru actually oh no, I was talking about the Black Clover episode where Dorothy also had a power like this, where she kind of made other people think about something and they imagined it, and this kind of it kind of happened. So it's kind of like that. That's the tactic that he's using, I'm guessing, against Yachiru as well. And yeah, it worked. And here her her bones become cookies. She kind of almost crumbles down. And yeah, when all hope is lost, in comes Kenpachi, and Kenpachi is like, I saw Yachiru's spiritual pressure go wobbly, so I came. And there you go. So after that, Isane obviously asks one of the obvious questions: what happened to Unohana, Captain Unohana? And he's like, oh, dead. I killed her. And he says, if you want to kill me, you can, And Isane is like, no, you were able to succeed her. So I'm pretty sure that's also what she wanted. And now that is out of the way, they are off to battle, like this guy versus Kenpachi. So right, so he makes like he was extremely cocky, and it makes sense why he was cocky, because his power is unmatched. It's literally, imagine something becomes true. So he hasn't gotten to meet his proper fight up until now. So he's like, yeah, like I can handle you. You'll be just like the other ones. But this is Zaraki Kenpachi we're talking about. In no way can you imagine what he can do. So he, like the whole place he kind of makes like a elevated platform. He imagines it, I'm guessing, obviously. And he's like, Kenpachi's like, what is this? Some illusion? And he's like, no, it's not an illusion. It's real. Whatever I'm imagining is becoming real. And he introduces himself. I am Grammy, the visionary who turns fantasy into reality. And that is his power. So, he's like, yeah, and he says like, I'm the strongest of the Stern Ritter. I kind of missed this part. That's why later on when Kenpachi's like, oh, you're the strongest Stern Ritter, I was like, what is he talking about? When did he mention that? He did mention it here. I'm just looking at it now. By the way, he says that, and as he's saying, Kenpachi just comes and slashes him, and he is surprised actually. Okay, just a sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. I was in process of recovering it, and I think the video has been recovered, thankfully. I don't know, like I'm still not 100% sure, but you'll probably see the video. Like god damn it, this video was one of the most toughest video, because the whole thing went completely out, and I had to recover it and everything. Oh my god, I'm kind of freaking out. Because if this was some other episode of Bleach, I probably wouldn't have like some other like some other episodes. I probably wouldn't have been this freaked out, because but this is the Kenpachi episode. This is something that I've been waiting for. I really wanted to show the video of my reaction, but if that actually went out, I would have been sad here. But I think everything is fine. I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, yeah, now resuming my discussion. Yeah, what I was saying was that so Kenpachi is on top with this guy, and okay, so he gets hurt, and he's surprised obviously, because up until now nobody has been able to kind of hit him, and he tries to like make it steel, but it doesn't work. He even cuts steel, and Kenpachi's like, yeah, like who said I couldn't cut steel? And he just did it, and obviously since his imagination power is this powerful, he can just heal himself. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. He heals himself. And while all of the other Shinigamis, they're like freaking out underneath, Kenpachi and him is fighting. He heals himself, and he's like, all right, so let's fight again. He's like, oh, okay, the cut is gone. And right, and he's still like kind of like, yeah, I can see you're powerful, but you cannot be fight against me. And he's like, I'm like, I won't like wag a finger. I'm just going to defeat you like this. And I just realized that is why he was putting his hands in the pocket, not moving it, because of that whole statement. And yeah, so he makes a lot of things. First he makes lava and stuff, and Kenpachi's fighting, and he also asks about Yachiru, and he says like the whole situation. He talks about Yachiru and making it a cookie. I love how Kenpachi's like, what is a cookie? And he kind of says that Rakugan, and he's like, oh, you don't know cookie? Rakugan. And he's like, oh, okay. Alright, so next he jumps, and like I said, he imagines that Kenpachi is in water, and that's exactly what happens. And while all this is happening, Yachiru also falls down. Kenpachi also falls down in the crack, and he makes the crack close, and he's like, oh, just drown underwater. But he breaks that even and just comes out, and Yachiru is fine, because he kind of got a little rattled and like probably forgot imagining Yachiru's bones to be cookies. So Yachiru is back to normal again. And yeah, okay, so he's like, oh, Yachiru, go go and get your arm fixed. Isan is there, and yeah, and then Kenpachi's like, you want to fight, right? Aren't you the strongest, Quincy? If you're the strongest, then don't you want to crush the strongest? And you can see that he himself kind of starts getting into Kenpachi's whole rhythm, and he's like, I'm the strongest, yeah. Like, and he's realizing that there's some kind of an excitement coming. He's never felt this before, because up until now he just imagines something and that just happens. He's the strongest. He's literally the strongest. But this is Kenpachi, like, and he can actually, he's like, oh, this is something, like, what is this feeling? I've never thought of, like felt this feeling before. And here we go. I've never felt the desire to crush anyone before. So then why? And he just brings out guns. that actually caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting freaking guns to come. And then he like brings out missiles and all that stuff, and Kenpachi just cuts everything. Just goes ham. And then he kind of like makes like a shield. Kenpachi breaks that as well. And he's like, I can break through steel, and all these things are happening. And I love how this part where, he's like, oh, that's lame. Kenpachi attacks him, cuts him, and then he cannot take it out. And Kenpachi's like, that's lame. And then he kind of tells him, like, kind of just kind of repeats the same to Kenpachi. And he's like, oh, no, this is lame. Where that big hand comes and, like, attacks Kenpachi. And then Kenpachi even breaks that and starts cutting him into, like, like 3-4 slices. Like, that was just crazy. And yeah, he's like, this can't be happening. Am I losing? What's going on? And as soon as he imagines that he's losing, Kenpachi says that, and it kind of breaks him out of his whole thing. He's like, yeah, I cannot imagine that I'm losing. Then I'll lose. And he's like, oh, thanks, Kenpachi, for bringing me out of this. Now, this whole thing, I feel like the main thing here was that, his imagination, like, people's imagination can run, like, obviously run wild, but there's a certain like a threshold. I feel like he wasn't even able to imagine how crazy Kenpachi is. Like, he couldn't imagine the extent to what Kenpachi can go, and that was the problem. Like, like I said, his opponent was very bad, like badly, like, matched with him. But you could say for him, he kind of enjoyed it by the end of it. We can see. So maybe you could say like he kind of enjoyed it by the end of it, and he liked it. So, but like, as for opponents, Kenpachi was a bad choice for him, because, like I said, Kenpachi breaks everyone's imagination. You cannot imagine Kenpachi's limit. It's kind of impossible to do that. And he's like, okay, let me bring out my clone, and he imagines his clone as well. Like, it kind of makes sense, because in the end we get to see he himself actually is a brain, so this body in itself is an imagination. So yeah, he can make a lot of the other, like, clones as well. And then he brings out a freaking meteor, and Kenpachi say, all right, I've never cut a meteor before, let's do it then. Like, it's like there's a first time for everything. Okay, Nozarashi, that's the name of his Zanpakuto, I'm guessing. And he's like, oh, I suppose, like, even if you got, like, do something about the meteor and kill me. No, sorry, he says, like, even if you kill me here, manage to kill me, like, the meteor will wipe everything out. So what can you do? Like, and Kenpachi is just laughing. And Kenpachi is like, yeah, you know what, just watch. And he jumps. And here you can see that Yachiri kind of imagines the past. Like I said, this part, I again, these flashbacks made me think Yachiri had something to do with Zanpakuto. Nah, probably not, because we actually saw Yachiri has her own Zanpakuto. So, yeah, I don't think that's possible. But, like, we see, like, Yachiri coming and, like, touching his Zanpakuto. And he's like, hey kid, what's your name? You don't have one? Neither do I. Yeah. Zaraki came. Wait, then where did Zaraki come from? Kenpachi is obviously the title. Zaraki. Yeah, I wonder. Where did the name Zaraki come from then? He says that he doesn't have a name. I don't know. But anyways, he cuts the meteor in two, and, like, it just breaks into, like, different pieces, starts raining fire. And this is where everything goes down. He says, I forgot his name, V. He says, you monster. As soon as he says that, he imagines Kenpachi as a monster. And he's like, oh, I can kill you without, any form. If something with form cannot defeat you, I'll kill you without form. And he makes like a space, and he's like a vacuum space, and he's like, your body fluids will evaporate, your blood will begin to boil, like you cannot, your tissues will collapse and you will die a slow death. And he's like, yeah, and then he just gets cut immediately. And Kenpachi's like, oh, you forgot to harden your body, that's why you got cut. And you can see Kenpachi just breaking out of that thing. Nothing can stop this man. And he cuts off his like stomach and everything, and he still just blows himself up. Still nothing happens to Kenpachi. Kenpachi's just there standing, and he's like, ah, you really are a monster. And he's like, okay, you know what, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to imagine myself stronger than you. And this is what I initially thought, and it turns out that in the end that's exactly what happened. So what I thought was going to happen, that he's going to imagine himself stronger than Kenpachi, but being stronger than Kenpachi means that, like unfathomable power. He cannot even imagine how strong Kenpachi is. So that is somehow going to malfunction and is going to destroy his body from the inside. That's exactly what happens, as he explains in the end. Like, he tries to attack Kenpachi, but then he just breaks apart. And Kenpachi thinks he, the reason why this happened is because he thought himself, Kenpachi, to be a monster inside of his head, so that monster killed him. But no, he explains in the after the after credits scene, he explains that no, I wasn't killed by my imagination. My imagination did exactly what I told it to. It tried to imagine myself stronger than you. But you were so strong that my body couldn't hold. He says like, no, like when Kenpachi comes down and is like talking to him in final words, he's like, no, Zaraki Kenpachi, my imagination was correct. Too correct, in fact. I was able to correctly imagine all of your powers. But the one thing I couldn't imagine correctly is that only your body can withstand your powers. It wasn't my power of imagination that lost to you, it was a body of mine. Yeah. And in the end, his brain, the brain like in the jar comes out, and he's like, you see, this wasn't even my real body. And he's like, I told you I'm going to kill you without lifting my finger. But yeah, turns out it was the opposite. I actually died. But, And he's like, yeah, I cannot even imagine how it would feel not imagining for the rest. Okay, I think that's what he says in the end. No, he says it's going to be sad, imagining what lies ahead, a world where I can no longer imagine anything. Damn. That was kind of poetic. In the end, he disappears. So that was that. And yeah, Kenpachi, that was crazy. Obviously, this is Kenpachi we're talking about. So yeah, just good God. That was a really good fight. I really enjoyed it. And it was, yeah, definitely one of the best episodes. And yeah, like just seeing a character like him, like a person who has imagination power, Kenpachi defeating someone like that, it's crazy, Like imagination power, whatever you imagine is going to become reality. That is like one of the most OPest power I've ever seen. But Kenpachi even defeated that. Crazy. But yeah, there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to this episode. And I don't know, like I said, hopefully the first part of the video will have the video. If not, it'll only probably be audio, because yeah, the video got corrupted. My camera died and everything almost got wiped out. So if the video is there, then you'll understand that I'll be able to recover. I have been able to recover it. If not, then unfortunate. But yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Bleach. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.